Do what you can with what you have and where you are. With this beautiful quote, let us begin today's biology class. A very good morning to my dear students. So we were actually dealing with photosynthesis chapter. I hope the previously taught topics are clear to everyone. So moving to the next topic, adaptations in plants, or what are the adaptations in leaves to carry out photosynthesis? Adaptations means what? What all necessary structural changes, will be made in the plants so that it can carry out photosynthesis. We will see one by one. Already it is written on the board. One is large surface area. Large surface area means here it actually implies to the large surface area of the leaves. You might have seen different types of leaves. I am drawing different types. This is one type of leaf. This is another type of leaf. So see the difference. Here this is actually a broader leaf. This one is a narrow leaf. So which is having more surface area? Of course this leaf. This leaf will be having more surface area than this narrow leaf. So if more surface area is there for the leaves, what is the benefit? It can receive more sunlight. At the same time, this leaf will be having more amount of chloroplast, which contains chlorophyll pigment in it. So larger the surface, larger the surface area of the leaves will be able to absorb more sunlight due to the presence of more chlorophyll pigment. So this will be helping the plants to carry out more photosynthesis. Then comes the leaf arrangement. How the leaves are arranged on the plant body, or how the leaves are arranged on the stem. It is stated that the leaves should be arranged at right angles to each other like this. Imagine that if this is one leaf, another leaf should be like this. So if they are arranged at, then one leaf like this means another should be like this. So if the leaves are arranged at right angles to each other, all the leaves will be able to get enough sunlight. So arrangement of the leaf is another important adaptation that will be facilitating the plants in carrying out photosynthesis. So how should be the leaves arranged? The leaves should be arranged at right angles to each other. Now coming to the next, transparent cuticle and upper epidermis. What is cuticle? In one of the previous chapters we have discussed, or we have come across this particular term. What is cuticle? Cuticle is actually a waxy layer that is secreted by the epidermis of the leaf. A waxy coating will be present. This is the epidermis. Epidermis means the outermost layer of the cells like this. Barrel shaped cells. There will be a waxy coating secreted above this layer like this. This is what is called as cuticle. The cuticle thickness will vary. Some will be transparent, some cuticle will be very thick. So if the cuticle is thick, what happens is that the sunlight will not, the leaves will not be able to absorb enough sunlight. So the transparent cuticle actually helps in carrying out photosynthesis. Cuticle should be transparent. Next is thinness of the leaves. You might have touched the surface of the leaves. All the leaves will not be feeling alike. There are some leaves that are too thick, but there are leaves that are very thin also. So what is the importance of this thinness of the leaves? Thinness of the leaves means the cells will be actually so closely located. So if it actually reduces the distance between the cells. If the leaves are thin, It reduces the distance between the cells so that rapid transport of water and the nutrients will be taking place. That is the significance of thinness of leaves. Going to another adaptation, of course, it is chloroplast. You know that without a chloroplast, the process of photosynthesis will not happen in the plants. So chloroplast is actually an organelle that contains the pigment which is called as chlorophyll, the green pigment, which is able to absorb sunlight. I told you photons of sunlight. That's actually a unit, measurement. So chloroplast again is an adaptation in plants that actually helps in carrying out photosynthesis. Next is the extensive vein system. What is the meaning of this? Extensive vein system. Extensive vein system means you might have seen the veins like this that is running on the leaf surface. Isn't it? Veins. So what is the benefit of this extensive vein system? This extensive vein system actually helps in the rapid transport of materials. Mainly, which is the material that is needed for carrying out photosynthesis? It's actually water. So rapid transport of materials will be taking place from the leaves to the mesophyll cells. Okay, leaves mesophyll cells. So rapid transport will be taking place. So for the rapid transportation of materials, what is actually needed? Extensive vein system is required. So adaptations in plants or adaptations in leaves. Sometimes the question will be like this: what are the adaptations in leaves for carrying out photosynthesis? Don't get confused, it is the same. Okay, so all these are the adaptations. One is large surface area of what? Don't forget to write that, of leaf. Large surface area of the leaf for absorbing maximum sunlight. Leaf arrangement at right angles to each other. Presence of transparent cuticle. Then next is thinness of the leaves, which actually reduces the distance between the cells. Another is the presence of chloroplast. And last is the extensive vein system, which actually is used for the rapid transport to the mesophyll cells and from the mesophyll cells, okay, of materials. So all these are the adaptations in plants for carrying out photosynthesis. So going to the next topic, that is carbon cycle. Okay, we will see what is carbon cycle. Carbon cycle means here there is a cyclic process that is taking place. Okay, so here producers, you can see what is written on the board. Producers are nothing but these are the green plants which are able to prepare its own food by the process of photosynthesis. So you can see that here producers, that is green plants. Okay, what are these green plants doing? Green plants is actually absorbing the carbon dioxide that is available in the atmosphere. It's actually 0.03% of carbon dioxide that is always present in the air. So this carbon dioxide will be used up by the green plants or the otherwise so-called producers to carry out photosynthesis. Okay, so carbon dioxide is absorbed by the producers or green plants to carry out photosynthesis process. Now what is happening? What is happening to this green plants? Food chain will begin. Food chain is always beginning from green plants. So this green plants will be usually eaten up by the animals. Herbivores. Okay, so consumers will be feeding on this green plants which are the producers. Then when this producers and the consumers, when they respire, what will happen? Both these plants as well as animals, when they are respiring, they are giving out the carbon dioxide. At the same time, When these consumers die, that means when the organisms that are eating up the plants, when they die, their dead body will be acted upon by the decomposers, which includes bacteria, fungi, etc. Okay? Bacteria will be there, fungus will be there, etc. will be decomposing the organic matter present in the dead bodies of the animals and thereby releasing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Okay, I hope this much is clear. So green plants are using carbon dioxide to carry out photosynthesis. Green plants will be eaten up by the consumers or the animals. Usually herbivorous animals will be feeding on the green plants. Then herbivorous animals are eaten up by carnivorous. Carnivorous, again there are categories. Okay. So carnivorous, smaller carnivorous, bigger carnivorous, like that many categories are there. So they will be eating this herbivorous animals. So this herbivorous animals or the carnivorous animals, when they die, what is happening? Their dead body will be acted upon by the decomposers and their organic matter will be decomposed, releasing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Now you can see that producers, consumers, decomposers, all these will be respiring because all these are living organisms. Okay, so they will respire, as a result of which they will be releasing carbon dioxide into the air. Now producers can die, that means green plants. You might have seen leaves will be falling down. Okay, they will decay, or the plant as a whole will be sometimes destroyed. Consumers will be dying, decomposers will be destroyed. All this after many years, due to fossilization, this will result in the formation of fossil fuels. Okay, so by burning of fossil fuels, again what is happening? Carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere. Or sometimes carbon dioxide can also be released into the atmosphere by burning the limestone in lime kilns. Okay, so in this manner also again carbon dioxide will be released into the atmosphere. So here you can see that there is a cyclic process that is taking place in the atmosphere. This cycle that is operating is what is known as carbon cycle. Okay, I hope it is clear. Producers are taking up carbon dioxide for carrying out photosynthesis. Producers are eaten up by consumers. Consumers are eaten up by decomposers. Not eaten up, consumers are acted upon by the decomposers when they die. Now all these three organisms are respiring, as a result of which carbon dioxide will be released into the air. Now when all the producers, consumers or decomposers, when they die, what happens after many years, millions of years, due to fossilization process, fossil fuels are produced, which when we are burning, it will result in the formation of again carbon dioxide, which will be released into the atmosphere. Now limestone, it can be burned in lime kilns. Thereby again carbon dioxide can be released into the atmosphere. So there is a cyclic process that is operating in the environment. This cycle is what is known as carbon cycle. So we will discuss few ICSE board exam question papers. Already this is given in your textbook. Okay, you can see towards the end of photosynthesis chapter. I don't have the new edition textbook, so the page number will be little different. That is why I am not telling the page number. I am using my last year's textbook. So this is actually 2014's question paper. Okay, just to find out in your textbook the question that is related to 2014, it is actually given within bracket. I'll read out the question. A potted plant was taken in order to prove a factor necessary for photosynthesis. The potted plant was kept in the dark for 24 hours. One of the leaves was covered with black paper in the center. The potted plant was then placed in sunlight for a few hours. Question 1. What aspect of photosynthesis was being tested? So already you got an idea. One of the leaf is covered with black paper in the center. So what is the aim of the experiment? That is the meaning of first question. What aspect of photosynthesis was being tested? So what is the aim of the experiment? That is what you have to write as this answer. That is, sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Okay, that is the answer. I am discussing year 2014 question paper. Okay, don't forget that. Actually in this, the page number is 78. Okay, page number 78. I am using 2017 edition. So I don't know the page number exactly of the new textbook. Now question number 2 of the year 2014. Why was the plant placed in the dark before beginning the experiment? So what is the purpose of keeping the plant in the dark room? What is the answer? The answer is for destarching. Destarching of leaves. Okay, don't forget to write that. So the answer for the next question is destarching of leaves. Or you can write to remove the starch from the leaves to other storage organs. So you can write this answer in two ways. Either you can write it as for destarching of the leaves, or you can write the answer as for removing the starch from the leaves to storage organs. Now the third question. During the starch test, why was the leaf boiled in water? What is the purpose of boiling the leaf in water? That is to kill the cells. Next question that is given is boiled in methylated spirit. So what is the purpose of boiling of the leaf in methylated spirit? That is actually to remove chlorophyll present in the leaves. Okay? So that is the answer. Now question number D. Write a balanced chemical equation to represent the process of photosynthesis. Already I told you the equation in one of the videos, how you have to write the equation. Don't forget to write above light and below chlorophyll in the equation. Okay, so this is the equation 6CO2 plus 12H2O. Don't forget to write these two things, light, chlorophyll, gives C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O. Okay, so this is the equation of photosynthesis. Now moving to the next question. Draw a neat diagram of a chloroplast and label its parts. This I am not drawing because already in one of the previous video I have already drawn the structure of chloroplast and I have shown all the labelings. Okay, so this was the year 2014 question paper. Now moving to 2015 board exam question paper. I don't know whether you will be able to see this textbook clearly. So this is the question. You can see two test tubes that is given. Okay. So this is the question. Okay. Find out the exact page number in your textbook. This is in my text I told you it is page number 78. So 2015's question. The diagram below shows two test tubes A and B. Test tube A contains green water plant. Test tube B contains both a green water plant and a snail. Both test tubes are kept in sunlight. Answer the questions that follow. Name the physiological process that releases the bubbles of oxygen. So which process is actually responsible for releasing oxygen bubbles? Here already we have written what is actually giving out oxygen. Which process is mentioned here in this particular chapter. What we are learning about? We are actually learning about photosynthesis. So name the physiological process that releases the bubbles of oxygen. Answer is photosynthesis. Explain the physiological process as mentioned above in question 2, first one. Explain the physiological process. Usually students will be writing the whole experiment as the answer. Let me tell you that is actually wrong. So explain the physiological process here simply means that you have written the first answer as photosynthesis. You simply have to explain what is photosynthesis in question number 2. Okay, that is the meaning of explain the physiological process. It doesn't mean that you have to explain the full step of that particular experiment. So explain the physiological process as mentioned above in question 2.1. So how will you write that answer? Just to define what is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants prepare food or glucose by using carbon dioxide, sunlight and chlorophyll. I told you many times previously also, you split and write. Green plants should be there, food or glucose should be there. Then 3 things don't forget to write, that is in the presence of light, carbon dioxide and water. Okay, that is the meaning of explain the physiological process. I hope it is clear to everyone. Now question number C. What is the purpose of keeping a snail in test tube B? I told you we are having 2 test tubes and in one of the test tube a snail is also placed. That means in test tube B a snail is placed. So what is the purpose of keeping the snail in test tube B? What is the purpose? It is because you know that a snail is actually an organism, a living organism. So it will be respiring. As a result of respiration carried out by the snail, what happens is that carbon dioxide will be released. The released carbon dioxide can be utilized by the aquatic plant, as a result of which more photosynthesis will be carried out by the aquatic plant which is placed in test tube B which contains a snail. I hope the answer is clear. As the snail is present, snail will be carrying out respiration. So carbon dioxide will be released out. The released carbon dioxide will be absorbed by the aquatic plant. And the aquatic plant will be carrying out more photosynthesis. Okay? As a result of which, what happens? More oxygen bubbles will be given out. Why does test tube, that is the next question. Why does test tube B have more bubbles of oxygen? What is the reason? The reason I told you just now, it is because test tube B is containing a snail. The snail will respire, so more carbon dioxide is available to the aquatic plant when compared to test tube A, where there is no snail. So when more carbon dioxide is available to the aquatic plant in test tube B, it will carry out more photosynthesis, as a result of which more oxygen bubbles will be released out. Now, next question. Give an example of a water plant that can be used in the above experiment. I told you there are 2 water plants. Okay? Either you can write the water plant's name as Hydrilla. Otherwise, the next water plant that can be used is Elodia. Okay? So this is the example of water plant. Write the overall chemical equation for the above process. The above process, I told you, it is actually photosynthesis. Okay, so this is the equation that we have to write for photosynthesis. Okay, so that is about this particular question. This was year 2015's question paper that we have discussed now. Okay, so I hope this chapter photosynthesis is clear to everyone. So give importance to few topics Usually this will be coming for the board exam. One is the definition of photosynthesis. Next is the equation of photosynthesis. Then starching that experiment. Then all the experiments related to photosynthesis. Okay. 4 or 5 experiments are there related to photosynthesis. All these experiments are important. Then we have seen the adaptations in leaf to carry out photosynthesis. Structure of a chloroplast is important. Then light reaction, dark reaction, where does light reaction take place, where does dark reaction occur. Light reaction takes place in the grana of the chloroplast or thylakoid of chloroplast. Both are correct. Dark reaction occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast. Okay, so that question is important. Then what is photolysis? The splitting of water molecules in the presence of light is known as photolysis. What is phosphorylation? The conversion of ADP into energy-rich compound ATP by the addition of inorganic phosphate is known as phosphorylation. If this process takes place in the presence of light, it is known as photophosphorylation. Okay, and towards the end we have seen the carbon cycle. I also discussed 2 question papers, okay, 2 years question papers. I hope with this the chapter is actually clear to everyone. Okay, so with this the photosynthesis chapter is actually over.